don't see a few people here that we were expecting yet, but I guess we can move on and then go back to business this morning after we get started. Are we turned on?
Yeah, we're on. Go ahead.
Okay, just give a little COVID report. We probably had the best week we've had in a long time. From this last Friday afternoon to the Friday before, we had 24 cases here in Logan County. According to the weekend report I got from the state for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Mountain Eagle gave out 8 this morning, but I added it up as 9 from the report I got. So I need to remember all those people and the other people in our county that need our prayers this morning. And Barry, would you do our prayer this morning?
Sure will. Let us pray. Father, we just come to you this morning and we just thank you for this blessed day that you've given us, Father. We just thank you that you give us the energy to get out, Father, and to go about our ways, Father. We ask you be with the ones that are hurting, Father, the ones that have lost loved ones, Father, the ones that are dealing with sickness. Father, we just ask that you be with them. Father, we thank you for the ones that are in court today, Father, and how they care about our county. Father, as we conduct business of the county, let us do it pleasing to you, Father, in all the decisions that we make. Father, we just ask that you be with the leaders of our nation and lead, guide, and direct us and forgive us for our sins. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, before we do the pledge to the flag, the veterans in here this week is Veterans Week. If you hold up your hand. Okay, I want y'all to go out to the end of the table and stand beside each other, and all of you leaders in the pledge to the American flag as we call the meeting to order.
Where do you want?
Right there on the stage. Just stay here.
You're going to stay here. Okay.
Let's come to attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank y'all for your service.
Thank you.
Okay, first item of business this morning is the minutes from the previous meeting.
Motion to approve October 26 minutes.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Is there any question? Okay, not hearing any, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crosley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Golden.
Don't be hitting that horn.
Can you hear me?
Can't vote.
Okay. Chick,
Yes. Okay, next item of business, I guess before we go any farther, I need a motion to amend the agenda to discuss Pennyrile RFP for broadband, of us putting that out, add it as number 8.
Motion to approve agenda amendment.
Second.
Okay, is there any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crosley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, at this time, I was expecting Jason Beatrice to be here at this time, and we'll go ahead and, okay, I didn't know you was here yet, Jason, I apologize. But you must have just walked in.
I was here early and I was speaking with the council for just a moment.
Okay, another person I want to recognize this morning is Gilbert. And Gilbert, I didn't ask your last name again, I apologize, but Gilbert is a representative in the area for Mitch McConnell's office. And Gilbert, have you got anything you want to say before we get into Jason?
No, I'm good. Just happy to be here. I think it's the first fiscal court for Logan County I've been able to attend. I've only held the position for a few months and moved to the area. But I'm originally from Owensboro, so I'm happy to be in the western part of the state. So thanks for having me.
Thank
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for being here with us. Okay, Jason. And I got you down to talk about the state allotted broadband funds and questions and answers.
Wonderful. Well, I will try. One, thank you for having me here today. Good to see all of y'all again. And I'm going to try to stick on topic quickly. Broadband funds. It's going to be thick and it's going to be quick. You good? You ready? Okay. And most of the stuff I know that y'all already know, so I'm just making sure we're all on the same page and see the same items there. So understand that there is a deployment broadband fund at the state level that's existed for a couple of years at least. This last session, in the 21 session, we passed House Bill 320, which essentially put $300 million into that broadband deployment fund. Of the $300 million, $50 million was sectioned off to deal just with economic development. So if there is an industrial park or a large business, state can interact with that project, and there's $50 million available to get broadband for economic development purposes. It can go to smaller issues also, but those are the larger ones. Of the 250 that's left, it has been specifically designated for broadband to the last of the last miles. Okay, so a good way of thinking about that is if you're on a road and you have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 houses a mile, okay, those are last of the last miles. And the reason we talk about it that way is this. If you are a broadband provider, you have to have some kind of business model. You have to have some kind of money that's coming in over time to recoup your losses and be able to sustain yourself. When you get to 1, 3, 4, sometimes even 10 houses a mile, there's no business model that supports that development anymore. It's just not a model that can make it. So what we did is we took that $250 million and said, look, if some entity wants to deploy broadband to last of the last mile, where it's either underserved or unserved entirely, which sometimes are the same case, if that, and it's a small geographic region, then this money can be set up as a 50-50 match. So if someone wants to come in and cover an area that meets those qualifications, and part of that money from House Bill 320, it'll be a 50-50 match for anybody that wants to come in and try to offer that service. So that defrays some of the upfront cost. Of the $250 million, we did that in 2 instances. The first instance is a $50 million tranche. And that was, in some senses, a test run to see how the executive branch would interpret what we did statutorily and how they would implement that. Through an RFI process, a request for information, an RFP process, request for proposal, and see how they developed all the technicals of actually putting out the requests and approving applications. Those applications, I think, terminated October the 25th or 26th. They received multiple applications. The administration is going through those. I have been told that by the end of November or 1st of December, if there is no challenge to one of those applications, a challenge to a provider that says that they're already in that area, don't step over the top of us, we're working. If there is no challenge, then we could have those finalized by the 1st of December, most likely. If there is a challenge by some provider that says, wait a minute, you're trying to put broadband in an area where we already are, that challenge process will probably result in, if that application is ultimately approved, it'll probably be in January, most likely, to work through that challenge process. There have been issues that have come up with the RFI somewhat, but mainly with the RFP process with the administration. Some things not theirs, but it brought the issue to light. Some things in their process. We hope that, and right now are working with lots of stakeholder partners to try to develop a bill that we'll propose in January, early January, this upcoming session, to streamline that proposal process for the next 250 that's on board in that same House Bill 320. That $200 million that's left for last of last miles, that is set to be let in April of 2022.
When was the deadline? When's the deadline on it then?
There is no deadline on that second tranche yet because there's no RFP that's been issued yet.
Okay, 250, there is no deadline.
To the 200 left. The
200.
Of the 300 originally, 50 shaved off for economic. Of the 250, we have 50 that was applications were due on the 25th or thereabouts of October. So that 50 is finished, but we have 200 that's left. Now,
that kind of gives you a ballpark outline of what's going on. We'll hit one more issue in the RFP process, probably of issue to you and others that are here. There was a provision set in 320 that said something like, if there were federal funds at play in a particular census block that you're looking at, the geographic area, then the 320 money wouldn't be used there unless the federal money is either inadequate or insufficient. Now, at first, the administration was interpreting that to mean, and I said wrongly and finally got them convinced otherwise, that, well, if there's any money there, then we can't put any federal money at play. We can't put state money in under House Bill 320. So it's not the case. You have to look on the ground and see if that money is adequately moving. So, for instance, I'll give you a particular concrete example. A little while ago, there was what was called RDOF auctions. And so it was a reverse auction process, don't we get in that, but federal funds come down into certain census blocks that have been designated, different entities, Spectrum, Charter, AT&T, Verizon, and anybody else could bid on these and try to get a successful bid on the census block, which means federal money flows to them for deployment in that block. Part of what RDOF is about, though, is that they have up to about 6 years to hit the ground in that census block. Okay. From a legislative side, we told everyone we want last of last miles gotten to now, not 6 years from now, 5 years from now, 4 years from now. We want it moving now. So RDOF money and anything else that's out there, only if it seems it's deemed adequate to render broadband to those last of the last miles would a challenge be successful if someone who has one of those successful auctions say, no, the state money can't come in over the top of us. We're going to make sure that's extraordinarily clear with revisions, but it's already in effect. We also will likely change the download and upload. Don't want to get too technical. You'll be fine with this. You'll understand federally it's always been defined underserved as 25 meg down or less. If you're under that, that's an underserved area. It's too slow. Yeah, it's extraordinarily slow. Modern day, when we talk about Zoom and meetings being broadcast and things like that, federal definitions are leaning toward, at this point, 100 meg down and probably 100 meg up. Okay, that means we're probably going to be ending up with fiber connections to most places, and I will tell you, everything I've told you so far, the main player that I see in this space are going to be electric co-ops, because they're not dependent on a business model of how we're going to make money with this over time. They have to watch the money, but they're a member service organization. So if they get a match on upfront cost, they can sustain those enduring costs much better than a for-profit business can. Okay? Now, one thing I'll leave you with past that is this. What I've told you is all good. It's not finished. $300 million is a whole lot of money. Whole lot of money. Don't know if y'all know it or not, but I chair the Appropriations and Revenue in the House. Constitutionally, the budget for the entire Commonwealth has to start in the House. I'm responsible for putting that budget together. You're looking at $12 billion, almost $13 billion in general funds. You're looking over a $40 billion budget in its entirety. $300 million, though, is still an extraordinary lot of money. For me personally, to each one of y'all on this committee, on this court, even to Judge Schick, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But when you look at the task at hand of what we've got to do to get to those last and last miles, because those are the Kentuckians, those are the Logan Countyans that are going to be left behind. They're not going to be able to do their banking. They're not going to be able to have a sufficient video telehealth. They're not going to be able to go to school remotely when they have to. They're not going to be able to talk to an expert when they have to, when they need to, do their banking online when they have to, when they need to, or watch a video effectively of the fiscal court proceeding when they need to or they have to. The last of the last miles are where there's no business model at, and that's where we've got to work at. To that end, $300 million will not get us there, even on a 50-50 match. So we've got a federal infrastructure bill coming. We're working on details of what that means, what is in it, and what are the restrictions on it. We will see if we're ready for this session, if enough guidance comes down. We also have ARPA money that's still available. Okay, almost half of what was allotted through the state side is still available, which can be used very clearly for broadband, water, sewer, very clearly for those things. And I believe that there is a strong commitment in the General Assembly at this point Well, federal money's great. We like to utilize it when we can. But at the same time, this is something for Kentuckians that we have to get to. And I think there will be legitimate honor in this pledge of we want to get it, we will pay for general fund or otherwise to get it done. So this is going to be an ongoing project. You've got money, you've got what I've outlaid, you've got what's coming federally, what's left federally at the state level. Those are all pots that are going to be coming to play. I'll be glad to talk with any one of y'all or all of y'all. I've talked with Judge Chip. I've talked with a lot of people over this interim since last session, updating about broadband and gaining information, giving information, making plans. This is something that's going to continue for several years in the future if we're going to successfully accomplish it. So stay in contact with me. I'll be glad to, we will continue to work on it, and I'll be glad to continue to work with y'all on it. Any questions?
Are we gonna get a lot of money from the federal, that thing they got going up there now for
There's quite a bit of money allotted to Kentucky, around $5 billion or so, and that breaks down into different pots of what it's available for. And there will be a significant amount, but my last numbers I think I saw were about $100 million that may be available for broadband, which is somewhat small compared to what we just put in. But I almost hesitate to say anything about that bill because it just passed Saturday.
Yeah, I know.
And we don't have the details of it
That's
yet.
what I'm saying, yeah.
You know, I mean, absolutely, we want to go after any monies available that we can get to, because economically, that puts counties behind. If you don't have broadband to every household, that puts us behind. And we're going to talk about today a little bit. We're doing an RFP for our ARPA money, our ARPA funds for our underserved. How would that play with, with this 250 million or 200 million that's going to be coming up? The county would put out another RFP?
Yeah. And for anybody listening here or remotely, I mean, we've talked about ARPA, okay, American Rescue Plan Act that come out in March, but ARPA money is divided into at least two layers. There's a layer that came to the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and there's a layer that came to local governments.
Right.
So in talking about your local ARPA money that can be used, that can be used for broadband, yes, that's within the, as far as I can discern, the complete discretion of the fiscal court of how it proceeds with that, as long as it's in legal bounds. So I would anticipate, yes, there would be an RFP process, or those local funds from every source that I've been able to come in contact with can be used as a match for the House Bill 320 money.
Gotcha.
So think about that just for a second. I'm not suggesting, I'm just exampling. So if a local provider said, we think we can do this, we're going to get to the last of the last miles in Logan County, we're willing to put up a little money, the county's willing to put up a little money, well, those two monies together can be the 50-50 match for the House Bill 320 money. So now you've just leveraged, you just doubled whatever you put in.
So if another telco came and said, we can do a $3 million project, and we could use our local ARPA funds to do the half 50% match.
That was what I was fixing to ask you. If we put out this RFP and we do have a qualified bidder for this RFP that we're talking about today, then I guess that provider and the fiscal court can jointly file for the grant.
Could jointly file for it or have an agreement with the provider, and the provider make the grant for the 320 money. The state only understands that the applicant is going to come up with the cash to have the 50-50 match, and as long as it's legal, we don't care where that 50-50 match comes from. That could be from the fiscal court, could be from a city, could be from whomever, or from the entity itself.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, I know we've talked
I
about,
think,
I got a question.
I see a hand up right there. Yes, sir.
On this 200 million, is that going to be a first come, first serve, or is it designated to a geographical area or per county?
It is not designated per county. It is not designated geographically other than what I mentioned earlier. House Bill 320 includes a restriction that in order to get to the last of the last miles for served and unserved constituents, the RFPs and the proposals should focus on the smallest geographic areas. Other than that, there's no geographic designation. and it's not per county. Unlike the funds that we put together for water projects and sewer projects, the lion's share of that money was set aside per county. This House Bill 320 money is not. So it is a first come, first serve. However, modeling that we've done based on the RFP process in the first 50, I don't know that we will hit a first come, first serve necessity. I don't say that it'd be a good thing. I'm not sure that we'll get enough applications. And part of it is this. This is something we're not particularly attuned to in this local area, but we are within what's called the TVA region of local co-ops, electric co-ops. And TVA has been very friendly toward co-ops looking into deployment of broadband to its service members for years, if not decades. So the TVA, as opposed to the rest of the state, which is under the Public Service Commission, the PSC region is much larger than the TVA region. PSC has never allowed local co-ops to even look at deployment of broadband. So when we come to this $300 million being made available in 250 for the last of last miles, the TVA co-ops are in a much better position to move forward immediately. The PSC's, House Bill 320, part of it contained what we call the PSC fix, which made the PSC now start to allow and be able to approve their co-ops to go into broadband deployment. Well, I say that in response in this context of your question, will it be a first come, first serve on the remainder of the $200 million that's outstanding? Probably not, because all of the PSC co-ops, I'm not sure that they will be up to speed in order to make an RFP response to the Commonwealth by the time this next tranche of money is let. And that's an issue we're having to deal with politically also, because all of those House reps and senators in the PSC regions, I get quite a bit of contact from of how can we bring them up to speed faster in this process, because we are finding that the TVA region is much ahead on this issue and ready to deploy and ready to go out into the field and make those successful RFPs.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions?
As far as to apply for the 200 million, what, where does the judge's office or a committee or something need to reach out to, or who do we need to reach out to?
With the House Bill 320, that money, KIA, Kentucky Infrastructure Authority, is an official charge of the program, and it's basically, if you find any old information on the internet that refers to Kentucky's Broadband Deployment Fund, which I mentioned at the very beginning, the House Bill 320 money was put into that same fund.
Okay.
It's just that money had certain restrictions and particular guidelines to get the last of last miles. So the same ones that were over the Deployment Broadband Fund generally are over this also. It's just specialized, special purpose money, and that's Kentucky Infrastructure Authority. Now, in all fairness, and I'll give some kudos to Budget Director, State Budget Director John Hicks with the Executive Branch. They had to plow new ground on all of this money. They did not have an RFP process or an RFI. They had to do an RFI in order to get to the RFP. An RFP process designed for broadband deployment, and there's really no one in state government, including Kentucky Infrastructure Authority, that has ever attempted to do anything like this before. Although the Broadband Deployment Fund has existed for 2 or 3 years, there have been no real money or any money placed in it. So there have been no on-the-ground efforts of how we're going to get this out. Well, with this infusion of substantial funds, they've had to get that stuff ready. I think Budget Director Hicks has come back in front of me in appropriations and revenue and on subcommittees of it maybe 4 or 5 times over this interim, trying to update, and I keep asking, where we at, what's the timeline, and he has moved it along. I've been pleased with that. We have disagreements on the process, but I think he's done an admirable job plowing new ground on this particular topic.
So KIA is where we need to look to as
Yes.
far as
And then
the process.
And then I hinted to you that Office Director John Hicks is another point of contact, the State Budget Director.
Gotcha.
He will probably point you to KIA, but that's another point of contact. I was trying to be nice.
I understand. Man, we appreciate you coming and explaining to us. And,
Any other questions, ask me. I'm happy to try.
No, I've been in touch with you on it several times over it, so I appreciate it. And I hate we missed 50 though. I hate we missed out on the first 50, but
Well, the thing about it is there's more left. There's plenty more at this point. I hope and anticipate that there will be more after that. The matches, I will just give you a heads up, the matches may change. That's one thing we're looking at. And what I mean by that is this.
now it's 50-50.
And right now it's a 50-50 match. So I could see co-ops or any other potential provider going, man, we're member service oriented, but we're going to take too big of a hit on this over the long term. That match needs to be more favorable to the person that's actually on the ground doing the fiber deployment or other type of deployment. It may be a 60-40, a 30-70, a 80-20. And that's part of the reason we did that first 50 to see what feedback we get. I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion that the match will change, but that's an issue that I continue to watch. And I know the administration is also.
So the first 50, it got eat up, it's gone.
Not sure. When those applications are approved, the ones that make it through the process, then we'll know how much has been let off of that particular appropriation, been obligated. And at this point, I wish I could tell you, but I do not have information about the total amount of the potential applicants. I don't have that, but we'll see what's going to happen when we actually get the approvals. All right, anything else? Is that enough of the technical manuals for today?
I think so. You explained it very well.
Right. You've got me on for broadband. If I may update quickly on one other topic, if I may,
Absolutely.
Judge. Very quickly, just want to let you know I've stayed in contact with Jailer Gregory several times over this, and I've had the opportunity to have Department of Corrections in front of me in committee and a budget review subcommittees as well as a judiciary. Senator Westerfield was scheduled to be here today, and he was going to talk about this with me really quickly. He has 2 sick kids and one that he's having to stay home with again today, so he sends his regrets. But I told him, don't bring that stuff here. Right now, Department of Corrections is not classifying quickly enough felony inmates that are being held at the local jails. So you have an arrest, held, conviction, and a conviction of a felony, there's a required classification to be performed by the Department of Corrections. And that classification would simply do things like assess the inmate and go, what level of security should they be held at? What programming, whether it be a GED, parenting classes, anger management, on down the line, whatever it may be, work skills, whatever, they're supposed to assess those things and classify that inmate. The classification is then used to place that inmate, whether it be at a local jail helping out the state or at a state facility, and get those people moved to where they need to be. Part of the reason that we try to get that done and we put a statutory requirement on it is this. If you're an inmate and you've been convicted, felony, and you've not been classified, really the only thing that you're truly eligible to get credit for, and we need to be able to give credit for, is to get a GED. But if you need other substance abuse counseling and other types of counseling that's going on, you're really kind of in limbo until that classification happens. For instance, if Jailer Gregory were to start a substance abuse and start providing that to someone who's not been classified yet, and they're in there 2, 3, 4 weeks, and all of a sudden they get classified, they're moved somewhere else. They don't get to transfer that somewhere else. It's all a waste. A lot of resources out with nothing, no return on investment for it. So GED is about as far as that can go. The other thing is this. You have a lot of state inmates that might otherwise ordinarily be classified and then moved out of the Logan County Detention Center. But until they're classified, they're just sitting there eating up space and eating up resources. So inefficient on one big policy measure and the other one is a pure economic measure, needs to be done. Finally, on the third committee meeting, they finally admitted that they're not anywhere close to meeting the statutory requirements on timelines for classification. Now, DOC, I've asked 3 times, actually I asked 4 times in 3 separate committees, are you meeting your statutory requirements for classification? The last meeting, they finally said, no, we're not. That was a given, but I'm glad to hear that they could say it. First step is admitting it. My second question had been, if you're not meeting it, then what is it that's holding you back, including hint, hint, if it's personnel, let me know. I have something to do with the budget.
Sorry, Thomas had to come back in. That's,
You're fine.
he's doorbelling.
You're fine. To date, either in committee, verbally, or in writing, no one has told me that there's anything that impedes them from meeting their statutory requirements on classifications. If they know it, they're not telling us. And then the third thing I asked is, how can I help otherwise? And I've not heard anything back on that one either. So,
Appreciate you.
it's an issue. I want to make sure you know it. Jailer Gregory has kept me well up to date, sent me documents on it, kept me up to date on numbers. Other ones have done the same, but I pay particular attention here because they do a good job. They get me good information, and it's local for me, so I know what's going on here. I know what's going on in some other places. I know how it impacts y'all's budgets, okay? I think there may be some movement made, and in case anybody's listening, there may be some movement made in the budget to encourage DOC's compliance. So whomever might show this to DOC, you're more than welcome. It's being recorded, I hope. I would highly suggest that someone from DOC get in contact with me or my vice chairman or anyone else that works for me on staff and help us work through this issue, or else we will work through it the best way we can without that information. Okay? So just wanted to give you that update. It's always nice to be able to make a little public PSA to the DOC whenever we need to.
Well, we appreciate that, and you're right, it does put it puts a struggle on jail and Jailer Gregory. He's busting out the seams on one side because he can't move people, so.
I understand. If we were to get this issue fixed, it doesn't fix everything, but it is a piece of it.
That's right. Well, we appreciate you working on it.
All right, thank you for giving me that extra time on that one. Anything else? We're good?
Yep, thank you.
All hearts and minds clear, I'm fine.
Thank you, man.
Thank you all very much.
I'm sure we'll have questions tomorrow.
Just send them to me, or call me back in. Call me back to the floor, I'm good with it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Okay, next item of business on the agenda is the bills and the supplemental bill list.
I make a motion to pay the bills and the supplemental bill list.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. There's questions on any of them.
Yeah, Kelly, we're paying the bill for that Motrin or that Tiger. Is everything okay with it now? Was that something to do with the new piece we put on it, or is that something different? That's okay. Okay.
Is the camera system on here?
You say Mojam?
He got that.
No, Motrin, the Motrin.
I can't
We're
remember.
paying the bill where they fixed it the
I
last
looked over
time.
it that day, I don't think it is.
Second.
I guess we'll have to do it next time.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
Oh, it is? I'm sorry, I could not, I'm just, did not see it. It's probably towards, I know it's usually, probably should be under the,
Yeah. Page 8.
What did he ask?
Yeah, it is on there.
okay, thank you, man.
Okay.
He always keeps it straight.
Okay, let's move on to the treasury report then.
No, I don't think we roll called on that, Judge.
Oh, okay, look,
Yeah, we did.
We
well,
did?
we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's
Glad
okay.
y'all keeping it straight.
Janice, keep us in line. We got all that stuff.
Good morning. In your folders today, you have our financial statement ending October 31st of 2021. The balance in the general fund was $492,297.16. Road fund, $1,054,121.65. Jail fund, $143,141.97. LGEA, $104,410.96. Federal grants, $54.65. Solid waste recycling, $543,619.04. Parks and Rec, $500,229.02. Occupational tax, $6,716,245.67. Life skills, $153,471.56. 911 fund, $66,812.40. Health insurance fund, $267,303.52. ARPA fund, $2,633,467.39. Special reserve, $4,183,606.00. Total of all funds, $16,858,780.99.
Okay, when they get that acknowledged.
Move to acknowledge.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second to acknowledge. Question? Okay, not hearing any, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
In your folders as well is one budget transfer that we need to do.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second to approve the budget transfer. Any questions? Okay, not hearing any, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
And I am
Okay.
pleased to report that I have no cash transfers today.
Deal.
Okay, thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
Okay, road work request, Tyler.
District 1, continue maintenance, everything looks good. Thank you for the work out on Newtown, looks great. Appreciate it.
District 2, appreciate what y'all are doing. Thank you.
Yeah, District 3, I'm gonna be easy on you. Thanks a lot. Appreciate all the trimming till the mower went down, I guess. Appreciate all that. Thank you.
District 4, just continue maintenance. Everything looks good.
Same fight, District 5, thank you, thanks.
Okay, y'all heard the road work requests. Any questions?
But he got any request? No.
Okay, do we have
Promise
a
you have any road
motion?
work that I need to put down for you? Okay.
No, I don't have any, thank you.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the road work request.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay. Motion by Tyler, second by Barry.
Yes, sir.
Questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, elected officials, Mary. Okay. Okay, Gabby.
To bring before the court the October fee report, acknowledge the fiscal court.
Motion to acknowledge County Clerk October fee report.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second to acknowledge the fee report for October. Questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, Phil. Phil.
Thank you, Judge Chick. Good morning, court.
Good morning.
Morning.
Got some handouts.
Okay, we
So
have a
we're
total.
down a little bit then, I guess, right?
Yeah,
87.
we have a total of 141 in our jail, 91 are county, 50 are state. If you look over on the other page, we only have 13 state inmates on the county side. Luckily, I had some jail friends that at other jails that were able to help us out with some of the overcrowded. We shipped out about 30 state inmates on the county side. And they still haven't been classified. But I was glad that the other jails helped us out.
But we, right now, we still got 104 on that side.
We do, and
Okay.
13 of those are state inmates.
Okay.
I don't understand this draft. In other words, here we are at 88 and somebody won or two. What is that?
Are you talking about the front page?
Yes.
Well, it says right up the side of it what it is. Logan County is the first one, Class D felonies. Class C, controlled intakes. Class D extended. And then we got one for Simpson that we're holding, or two for Simpson. Then we're holding one for Hartle County.
We're holding these.
Oh, okay, we're holding that for them then.
3 for them.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two for Simpson and one for Hartle.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, another question, why?
We have Logan County charges on them, so we have to, they're here. And then they have those other county charges as well, so we have to hold them until they come and pick them up.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Okay.
I got a question for Phil,
Okay?
and it's really for all department heads and elected officials. As we know, the mandate that's fixing to take place January 4th through OSHA, that every employer that has 100 employees or more is going to have to mandate that they be vaccinated. My concern is public safety, which is your department and the sheriff's department. Do you anticipate that being a trouble with your workforce, Phil?
I would say probably 85 and 90% of our people that work at the jail have received the vaccination. The others, I'm sorry?
So that won't be a huge hit.
It probably won't be for us. I mean, they realize that they're working in a concrete box down there with little or no ventilation, and they volunteer on their own to receive the vaccine. I can't speak to other departments.
It'd probably be good to poll all departments to see how that's going to affect our workforce.
Yeah.
It's going to negatively affect the workforce for the whole United States.
Yeah, I would say
I
that's
mean, it's
right.
definitely an overstep of government.
Of course, we don't have a mandate. We don't mandate the vaccination, but, they volunteer to take it, and we provide that for them.
If it
The
comes
health
January
department does.
4th, that will be a mandate. Because Logan County has over 100 employees.
Has that passed yet?
It hadn't passed.
I
I
don't
think
think
they're
that's passed
they're
yet,
in
has it?
court, but I think they're fighting it
When we
in
was at the
court now.
conference last week,
Yeah, it's passed.
Well, there may be a legal challenge to it.
I think it's,
there
There
are
is a
several
legal challenge to
lawsuits.
it, but it has passed.
Okay.
And the deadline, January 4th for us to implement.
Well, I'm against mandates,
Yeah, me too.
so
Me
if they
too, I'm
want,
with you, Phil, I'm 100% with you.
Yeah.
But we gotta prepare for it, especially when we're talking about public safety.
Right.
Our sheriff and our ambulance.
right,
You know, we can probably get by without fixing the road for a little while, but we can't get by without running our jail, our sheriff, and our ambulance. And we need to be prepared And I think the first way to get prepared is to ask those 3 department heads, how is that going to affect your workforce? You're saying 10%. We probably could manage. It wouldn't be nice. I know it would be difficult, but we could probably manage if 10% of your workforce walked away. But what about the sheriff's department? Is he's, what's his estimate of what is it going to be? If it's going to be 50%, we got a problem. 911 center, 50% of those people leave, we got a problem.
Right. And like I said, I'm against mandates, and I can't do without my 10% that doesn't have it. So I'm against that mandate, and I hope there's a legal challenge, and I hope it's successful.
Yeah, me too.
That to not allow that. And I think it's
The mandate they put in place, how much y'all heard about it, but when we went to the conference last week, they talked about it. There was a special session on it because it was like fresh off the press. And everybody was flipping out about it, rightfully so. And they said, if you're not vaccinated, you got to keep up with the list. And you've also got to do a weekly, if you're not vaccinated, you've got to do a weekly test. The employees have to do a weekly test, and you have to keep it documented. And if OSHA comes in anytime, you got to be able to provide them with that information. And yeah,
Twice a week.
It's way
And there's a
overstepped.
third option too. Kyle.
Yeah, that was the religion.
Third option is your
Religion
religious
exemption.
belief.
Yeah. Either way, it's overstep of government, it's definitely an overreach of government control. I got vaccinated, but that's my personal choice. I don't, anybody's personal choice what they want to do. And I think it's definitely, but if they mandate it and if it's not challenged, which I know it will be challenged, and I hope it's successful. But it's something that we got coming down the horizon if it's not successfully challenged. And I know there's several lawsuits going on right now already about it. And I hope it's successful.
Well, it's an OSHA
Well, my point
regulation.
is,
Yeah.
January 4th will come soon enough, and I think it's all departments, but especially those 3 or 4 departments, it's critical that they get a process in place to allow those employees those options, because unless something changes, it is going to be law come January the 4th, and to a tune of $13,600 per offense to the employer, which is us, the court. So we just need to assume that it's, as it is right now, it is law. We need to be preparing for January the 4th.
I agree. Like I say, I hope there's a legal challenge, and I hope it's successful, because I don't think someone has to take a vaccine in their body if they don't
I'm
want
with you,
to.
Phil. I'm 100% with you.
Anybody else got a question?
I was gonna ask Joe.
Gilbert, did you want to say something about this?
Yeah, just real quick, talk to anybody after the.
Come up here at the mic if you don't mind, where everybody can hear
This
you.
report yesterday, you may already be aware, I was sitting here and mentioned, this circuit court yesterday halted, for now, the OSHA implementation. So for now, it's halted. Now, it'll still have to go through the court process and get an official ruling. But as of right now, the OSHA vaccine mandate has been halted as of yesterday.
As of yesterday. Okay.
Well, as
yesterday,
the
it's
final
been
day
halted.
changed, because the county was going to have to make some kind of decision by
It's still got to go through the court
January
process,
4th.
but it's been temporary
Has
halted.
that changed?
Say that again?
So good.
They told us at that conference last week that something had to be addressed before January the 4th.
Deer stand yesterday.
Yeah, so petitions have been put together. Should I stand over here?
Yeah.
Sorry to take over. Petitions have been put together and already been put through the legal process, and so, as I said, the federal Fifth Circuit Court put a halt on that, or a stay on that, and so for now, it's halted. Again, it still has to go through the official court process. There ought to be an official ruling. I guess the assumption would be if they ruled in favor of the vaccine mandate, you all would need to be prepared for that potential, but like you said, there's a lot of overreach here, and so our office was pretty sure this would come down to the courts, and it's moving real quick, rather quickly. So
Good. Hope it's crushed.
also, since I'm already up here, Jason Petrie did a great job in referencing the bipartisan infrastructure bill. Just so you know, it's $4.5 billion that'll come to Kentucky, and $69 million for the Appalachian Development Highway System, $438 million for bridge funding, $100 million for broadband, $391 million for public transportation, and then $418 million for clean water. And then this is more for Jason at the state level, but there's up to 12.5 additional dollars in funding that the state can apply for projects as well. One that a lot of people have cited, which would be in northern Kentucky, would be the Brent Spence Bridge. But that's just something else, and that's at the state level. They can apply for that.
We seem to have an influx of water project requests. There was like a $900 and something million something that come about. I thought that those water departments could apply for. Do you know, are you aware of that or remember that?
I'm not, do you know about the time or?
It's been within the ARPA, within the ARPA.
Okay.
I think that those projects, Tyler, have to go through the ranking process at your ad district. And the one that will receive that will be the one that gets the most votes from the water council at your ad district.
I just didn't know.
That's ranked projects. Now, other projects, some of the projects been presented to me, have all been turned in for that ranking. But, well, I said all of them. I don't know about a couple of them. But they got to be ranked at the Brad office to be eligible for that money.
Okay.
And sometimes that's hard to do between 10 counties. If one county, being able to, get in. Everybody won't get any of it.
All right. Appreciate you letting us know about that being halted. That's good news.
Yeah, 3 of those judges, by the way, 2 were appointed by the former president, Donald Trump, and Senator McConnell, and the third one, just a fun fact, was also appointed by Reagan. So we came through on the courts there.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All righty, moving forward, I've got some personnel action requests.
I'm not gonna be able to look it up. Thomas has commandeered my phone, but
Okay.
I have faith in it.
Yeah.
That it's good. So by this time, we've gotten used to the process. So, it's always good to do a final check, but we'll have to go.
I'd say it's right.
That's 3, man. They're promotions.
Right.
Good deal. Y'all want to say
Yeah, I
anything?
do.
Thomas, I moved you to my cell phone. That's why we was having a problem with the wireless here at the office, so
Okay.
you're on my cell phone. I'm charging you 25 cents per meg, so just be ready for the bill.
No problem. No problem. You'll never be broke, is all I can say.
Go ahead, anybody do.
All
No, I
right.
want to see when you had it.
I'll make a motion to approve the personnel action request for Gary D. Martin, changing his position from corporal to sergeant, and also changing his pay grade from LC-DC-1S1 to LC-DC-1S2.
Second?
Okay, got a motion and second on this particular, I can't remember what I heard.
Gary Martin. Mr. Martin.
Okay. Is there any question? Okay, let's have a roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the personnel action request on Crystal Crafton, moving her from deputy jailer at 0 years experience to corporal at 0 years experience, and the pay grade goes from LC-DC1 to LC-DC-1S1.
Second.
Okay, Tyler, did you second that? Okay, questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes.
Dallin? I make a motion to approve the personnel action request for Dallin Johnson, moving from corporal at 1 year experience to sergeant at 1 year experience, and from pay grade LC-DC-1S1 to LC-DC-1S2.
Second.
And the winner is Barry Wright.
Okay, who seconded that?
Jack.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, questions?
In the air.
Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Davenport.
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes.
Tell them all congratulations on the promotions.
I will, and thank the court for the pay grade. I have one other thing. I need to talk about an analog line to the booking desk area so that we can get the faxes from the court on releases, rather than trying to do an email, or sometimes people don't read their emails in a timely manner. And the fax will go directly to the booking desk where they do all the intakes and releases. And you want to look at that?
Yeah. I think, I've already heard about it or talked about it, and it shouldn't be a problem.
I didn't understand it. Say it again.
They're wanting to move a fax line to a different area, so they can get the fax.
Basically, it'll be a new line and it'll be a little monthly charge for
You
it.
just need to run it.
Right. What it is, it'll come from the Justice Center directly to the booking desk area where they release them when they, settle their cases. And rather than send it to the front office, and we may or may not get it in a timely manner, we don't always look at our emails, instantly. So it goes directly to the booking desk area and then get them released more quickly.
Thank you.
That's it.
What's the monthly?
The monthly is $22.20 to add the analog line. So this is just add to our, it'll just add it to our contract we've already got with
Yes.
CrossPath. Okay. Make a motion that we approve adding the analog line from CrossPath at the jail for a total of $22.20 per month.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Question? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick,
Yeah.
That's all I have. Thank you, Court.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Okay, Steve?
Need to get my October fee report acknowledged.
Motion to acknowledge Sheriff's October fee report.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and second to acknowledge the fee report from the Sheriff's Office for October. Okay, question? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes.
Also have a personnel action request I'd like to get approved.
Really? Okay. Changed.
People say that.
See, I like Billy. He's good. He's a good
If
guy.
I know Tyler didn't wasn't using his phone, raised that rating.
Paula would have caught it. Paula would have been on top of
Sheriff's
it.
Department. Fiscal.
You already.
He's 7 years experience.
I thought he'd been, yeah, did his military time?
We don't have that.
Where'd they come from, Steve?
From Russellville Police Department.
Okay.
You'll think about it, you'll know who that is. Oh, you want me to do it? All right. Want to make a recommendation for Walter Bill Moore, LCSO1, and he's a full-time hire from the Sheriff's Office, LCOS1, with 7 years' experience.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Question.
Now, if he stops me speeding, be sure to tell him I second that motion.
I will give you your picture.
Okay,
I
there
think they have your picture.
no other comments or questions. Let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley.
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
Let him know I voted yes.
I will. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.
It's cracked all to pieces.
Okay, Department of the Agenda.
We went to get a new one and they was out of phones. Morning.
Morning.
My 3 new ones have started, and we're doing the training process now. They're doing pretty good. And just to let y'all know, all of my employees except for one, including my 3 new ones, are vaccinated fully. So we're good
Well,
on that.
that's great. Maybe Thomas heard that, so.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay. Yeah, we all did it, and when it hit us like it did, we were like, no, we're not going through this again. So,
Okay.
and our stove and refrigerator got delivered, less than $1,200 for both pieces. I'm
Cool.
waiting on the bill and all that for that, so thank you for your help on that, Mary Jane.
Oh, no problem.
That's
Glad it
all I've
worked.
got, unless anybody's got anything for me.
Appreciate everything.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Jason. Nathan, I said Jason, Nathan.
Nate's like, you mean me?
Brother Jason, Nathan.
Morning.
Morning.
I passed out this morning a litter abatement report for what we've done. It's from some work for myself and the nonprofits community service with 21 miles, 177 bags, and 17 tires. With our recycling program, we've tried to stay busy with us out there. We've had 22 bales, a little over a bale a day, work day out there. A little bit of metal and paper as well, trying to work on the stops as well as the material from Logan aluminum. So it's keeping us busy. The camera system has been installed out there and is running. We're just waiting on the internet at this time to come into the system. And you may remember we had an e-waste, e-scrap day on Saturday this past, and we had a busy, steady attendance and nearly filled a semi. We had 150 monitors and TVs that we took in. I'm waiting on the numbers for everything else that we took in. So we did a full day. It seemed like everything went well from my perspective.
Good deal.
Good deal.
Yeah, that's great.
Appreciate everything.
Anything else?
On Iron Mountain Road, I'll get you the roundabout address. I just text somebody, but I drove through there last night, and there's like some household items dumped, like coal and some random stuff, so.
Okay.
I meant to text you last night, I just thought of it.
Okay. I'll get with you later about that and check on that.
All right, thank you very much for all you do.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Okay. Kelly, you got anything this morning?
No, just, I think it's about over, we're like 22 batches on the road. Should be 2.5 days.
Kelly, I got a question. So as far as the mow trimmer, is that still a continuing saga of not working? Is it back down again?
Cracked on it.
Uh-huh.
They're every well now.
Yeah.
They get fixed. You got a solenoid going out, so we got to carry it back to right.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, it's an issue we've got to address that because it's whenever that's used, you know, the view of people driving down the road and school buses, we've got to get something that will take care of taking care of getting that brush and stuff back. We've got to do something. We was at that conference last week and we talked to that company Momax, and that sucker is, that it would really do a good job for what we need it for, getting that brush put back for visibility, and it also you can put stuff on it to grind down trunks and trees. I mean, that would be a great piece of equipment. We watched the demo and it was.
It's on the agenda to get a forestry head excavator.
Uh-huh.
But if we had plans of getting something like the mobile
Uh-huh.
it really we would need.
Just put that on hold.
We could put that on hold if we got that.
I don't know if we need to put any more money into this that we're dealing with right now.
That Momax looks pretty. Now, that one, has it come to a little closer now? They were selling one or demoing one in a close county. They went ahead and purchased one.
He said that he might have a demo in a few months. Yeah.
Hey, Barry,
Yes.
you order it today and the delivery is late June or early July of 2022. Just FYI, what we're talking about turnaround. So, you know, if we wait the first of the year to do something, it's going to be even later.
Yeah,
I think we put it out for bid now.
I've talked to the salesman a time or two, and I was trying to get one a little closer, you know, where we could go watch it in person, and but so far it hadn't.
There's some pieces of equipment we can do without, but when you're talking about this brush and getting the visibility where people are driving down roads and school buses pulling out of roads, we've got to do something. We've got to do something.
John Deere,
That's my biggest road complaint.
Yep. Rightfully so, because we're not doing it because we can't, because our equipment keeps tearing up.
I understand
it's not Kelly's fault. Equipment keeps tearing
I
up.
understand I got Hudson's gonna be the dealer on another brand of
yeah,
that.
they're going to do another brand. What
And
did
it's
Alex-
already out there too, and I was like the rest of them last week at that conference, I looked at.
Yeah, well, I saw that one too. They're close to the same price point.
Mm-hmm.
They're close to the same price point.
Yeah.
Yeah, this might be something we can address and
I'm with Kelly on that if we think we're going to do that, because that will interchange with the Momax, or maybe, what's the name brand of the other one that Hudson's talking?
Yeah. Yeah.
But won't that forestry header reach so much higher?
Yeah, I think it was 21-foot reach with the Momax, correct? 21 foot, 22 foot.
So it's comparable.
So you take that thing and then put that forestry head on it, it'll really get up in there.
Well, we can talk about it on.
Yeah.
We can do it
We can wait
first
to the
agenda.
agenda and
Yeah.
see.
Okay. Is that all the department is? I believe it is, and, we'll move on to judges' announcements then. It's all about Christmas. Christmas coming up, downtown Christmas open house will be in Russellville on November the 21st from 1 to 5. Chaco 31st Annual Christmas Parade will be December the 5th, beginning at 2 p.m. The Lewisburg Christmas Parade is on December the 11th at 4 p.m. The Auburn Christmas Parade is on December the 12th at 2 p.m. So y'all need to write those dates down if you're interested in being in the parades. And
What was the last one? I got Lewisburg. What was the?
Auburn, December the 12th, I think it's next day. Yeah, 2 p.m. Okay, citizen participation, we got quite a crowd in there this morning. David Clark's here. I'm glad to see you, David. He's our insurance representative for CAECO. And if any of you would like to address the court, we ask that you come forward you state your name and some vicinity of the county that you live in. We don't want your address, but you might say I live on Coupletown Road. So if you want to address the court, we ask that you do so at this time. Not seeing anybody moving, I'm going to move on then. First item of business this morning is to discuss a commitment to an outside arena at the Extension Taxi District property. And I think we got some people here today that want to talk about that. They're in the process of maybe applying for a grant somewhere. And at the meeting at the Extension office, we voted to move forward with the project. And even Leanne's here. I didn't see you come in, Leanne.
Yeah, I snuck in behind.
So we exactly don't know what the cost is. We got some design. Hopefully they'll have a cost here for long. I know that the outside arena would be used quite a bit. So we'll move on and let them do their presentation.
Of course, everybody knows Dee Dee and Ben and Leanne. We met with the Extension Service, I believe it was last Tuesday. Just the Fair Board and to have that discussion with the Extension Service about possibly moving forward with the outdoor arena on their property. We have a grant opportunity where we would like to apply for this grant. The deadline on the grant is January the 31st for this grant cycle. We are talking with an architect to develop the plan as well as get all of the budgetary and financials in line to make sure that we have a good financial idea of what it's going to cost to complete this project, because we want to, and we do want to include on the financials a project manager. That way we know that we're covering all aspects and that the project will be completed the way that we intend for it to be completed. That's my spiel on where we're going with the grant. I'm going to let Leanne and some of the Fair Board members tell you what their thoughts are. What about Dee Dee?
Now, I represent both the Fair Board and the Extension Service in this request. As an Extension Service, we're excited to be a part of this. Our services provide things all for everybody in the community, and I think this is an outstanding opportunity for us. But being that it's a little outside of our scope of everything that we can do. So that's why we're coming to you in partnership with the Fair Board and hopefully with Fiscal Court, that we can maintain a community partnership to allow this to happen and moving forward. On the extension side, it will be we will be managing it much like we do the buildings we have, and open to everyone for all. It will be aesthetically, it will match everything else there, but be open to the community, and we're excited as we move forward in this. And it's been a request for the many years, so hopefully through this grant process and with these community partnerships, we can make this happen for our community.
I just want to add that we're really excited about this opportunity, and that, we've been building the fair every year, and this is hopefully a step forward into being able to do bigger and better things for the fair and the community. And we just hope that you all will continue to support us as you always have, and, that it can be something we can all work together and make happen for the betterment of Logan County and the citizens here. So thank you all for everything you always do.
I'd like to see this happen. This will be a great opportunity for the county. There'll be anybody in the county can get a lot of benefits from it. We just tied up, a lot of things we could do on the fair, we can't do because we don't have a room. For instance, a demolition, it's just almost impossible to have one in that building. We have to get the track so little, they can't get enough speed to hit, If we had outdoor arena, we'd have that outside. This year, we had the monster truck, wasn't enough room. A boy come in, he was gonna jump. He's gonna jump 30 feet, and there on a motorcycle. My Lord, when he got his thing set up, he was 5 foot from the roof before he even got on the motorcycle. So we really like to have this outdoor arena. It'd be a great help to the community. I've been doing boards for fairs about 28 years now. We really built this fair. It's come from y'all's help and all the sports this past year. We had a great fair. We paid all the bills, had a little money left. But this thing would really be a help to us, and I think it'd be a help to the county. Everybody gets some entertainment. It's not only having a fair out there. You'd have a lot of things on the outdoor arena.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. You can have, it's not only for a fair, you could do concerts or whatever. It's endless opportunities.
Is it gonna be totally enclosed?
No, it'd be outdoor arena.
Well, I appreciate the.
Or is it be open all the way around and a roof?
No
No roof?
We've already got that.
Bleachers
We've
have
already got
roofs.
that out there.
Yeah.
But this is for an outdoor arena with no roof. Got more space to do things like he's talking about, demolition derby or tractor pools. Now they've got to make sure they stop, and now there's not as much limits as to what they
It's
do.
gonna be same as a football field then.
Yeah.
You can sit on both sides, okay.
Okay,
As we design this, we're keeping all aspects and all type of events in mind. So it's not going to be built just for tractor pools. It's not going to be built just for monster trucks. We're hoping that as we look through it for concerts in an amphitheater type setting. So we're keeping all of those events in mind. Like you said, it's being part of it with the extension property. It's not only for the fair. It's for other community events. Educational events, youth events, bicycle rallies, anything we can do inside, we can do outside as well. So we are keeping all of those in mind. So
Our animal shows.
Yeah.
You all, I think, had a very successful, or there was a very successful animal show.
yeah, absolutely.
Right on.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was a big goat show, sale coming in. So there's endless opportunities. We are limited on space and height through the indoor arena, but being outdoor, we're hoping that with the design in mind and going larger, that our limitations are minimal.
And you'll still be able to utilize your existing building. absolutely.
Exactly, and hopefully in tandem. And
Yeah.
that way we can either run two separate events at the same time, or they can partner where you're housing indoors in the evening and then show in the afternoons, or a staging area, or we could be completely separate.
I think it's a great opportunity. I mean, really, I do.
But one good example, Barry can tell you tell them about had an invite to have a big tractor pull there, a big national deal. I mean big, I'm talking big. He can tell you about it. I mean,
It's possible.
there wasn't enough room there.
I remember when I was younger, the fairground, we used to have things out there. Man, the demolition derbies were awesome. I just remember that. You had so much room, and I mean, I don't think we can go wrong. Anything we do at the Ag Center, we can't go wrong, because there's always good crowds. There's always, it's just.
We got a good facility out there now. It's great for a lot of things. We put this, it'd be great. So we get both of them put together, it'd be amazing what we could do. We thank you for what you do. Thank you for consideration. Hope you really think on this. Thank you.
We appreciate the legwork and the time that y'all put into getting it started, and, if we get this grant, that's amazing. If we don't, there still needs to be a conversation of moving forward. It's just gonna be more skin in the game for, both parties. So I'm committed to it, and I think the rest of us are committed to it.
Absolutely.
And we're excited about seeing what's gonna happen next year.
That sounds good.
Roughly how many dollars are we talking about?
To do a completed project, and this is a very rough plan. We met with an architect to kind of give us a very rough idea of what price point we're going to be at. To do it correctly for the actual dirt work, the bleachers, concrete, concession stand, restrooms, and to stay with compliance, with ADA compliance and things like that, you're looking at anywhere from $750,000 to $1 million. For a total project, and that gives us room to make sure that it is accessible to everyone. One thing we noticed in the very front of the first plans that we're going to have to do more concrete work to make sure that it is acceptable for everyone, whether it be wheelchair or just making it safer. And that was something that was not in the original plan. So there's modifications and design aspects that are going to be changed. So we're looking comfortably at that 850 to 950,000.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all coming and talking about it.
Appreciate all your hard work.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, we'll be looking as an update as we get closer with your commitment, with the commitment from the Extension Service. We're moving forward as a fair board to work with an architect to get a more set plan, and then we'll be coming back to you with a final number, asking for an actual dollar commitment.
Have y'all hired JKS?
Yeah, that was the original.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Do
we
we know-
will be going with them.
Okay. He does good work. I've dealt with him before.
What size we're talking about? Do we roughly know what size the facility's gonna be?
It's gonna be at least 300 feet long and about Mary Jo might have even more aspect on exact size.
Well, I was thinking somewhere 250 to 350.
Yeah.
I mean, 250 to 350 would be pretty good for all occasions.
Well, I said a football field, so I'm right at it.
Yeah, it's a little bit, give or take a little bit, and that's not including, we're looking at stands to hold at least 2,000, hopefully more, depending on the size and design. It also holds a concession stand and then restrooms accordingly.
How many does the current building hold? That include?
The indoor arena seats are 1,600. Now, there's been plenty more in there.
We don't want to talk about that. What's the capacity? Is it 1,600
It's
capacity?
16,
Okay,
yeah.
there's a
That's
sticker
the
there.
fire
Fire
capacity.
capacity.
Fire marshal.
That's fire marshal capacity.
Okay, 1,600. I knew there was a sticker on the wall there.
Fire marshal, I got you too. No,
We won't talk about that. There's been a few more there.
And on Thursday, that's what the Fair Board is gonna meet with the architect. Leanne's gonna be there, of course, she is our Fair Board member, but she's also with the Extension Service. Lonnie's gonna be there as well. These are the things that we're gonna talk about with the architect, make sure that we're covering all of the bases, that this looks like something that is gonna be able to be a good fit for Logan County for many, many years to come. We're not gonna outgrow it in just a few years and say, oh, we wish we had done something different. So that's our goal for Thursday's meeting at the fair with the Fair Board members, and that way when he's drawing up our financials, we're getting good numbers on what that's all going to look like, and we'll definitely be bringing it back for you all to see, an extension board to review, make sure that aesthetically it's going to match their property. We have a great working relationship with them and you all, and we want to keep it that way. So we appreciate y'all's time this morning.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay. All right, we'll take this up again later when we find out from what the Fair Board's able to do as far as the grant, and they can mark it down that they got Logan County's commitment, or do we need to have a motion?
Let's do a motion.
Do what?
I say we do a motion
Yeah.
of commitment.
Break it out.
I'll make a motion that the court will commit to a partnership with the extension office in this outdoor arena.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Questions? For the people in the audience that don't understand why there's a pause, you gotta wait for a bull ride before you can have a vote. You got supposed to wait about 8 seconds. So, okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, next item of business is to approve the appointment of Lonnie Epley and Donna Baker to the Logan County Extension Board as a recommendation of those two people from the CEC Council
On the agenda,
Motion
but
to approve.
at the extension.
Motion to approve the appointments of Lonnie Epley and Donna Baker to the Extension Board.
Second.
we're going to vote on it before we get it.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Is there any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Okay.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item of business is open bid for monitoring and maintenance of county emergency radio equipment. And we got one bid. Wilson Communications. I guess Score wants to go ahead and open this bid.
Yes.
As far as I know, that's all the bid we got.
Thomas took a knife with him. Can we borrow your knife, Thomas?
Okay, y'all ready for you? Tyler ought to have one. He picked one that's convincing.
Man, it's in my truck.
Where you hunting, Thomas?
Get in the truck.
Thomas, where you hunting?
Okay, it looks like the bid is $73,000. He's asking for a 3-year contract, the response time
Who's on the committee?
less than 4 hours on any call,
Maybe it's a judge.
18% over cost parts and shipping, does not include tire climbing. The things and responsibilities be tire site inspections monthly at all 3 sites, radio programming, software, and firmware for county-owned radios, remotely monitoring the emergency communication system, fix and maintain radio system, and keep at 100% efficiency. Give reports and updates to Logan County Fiscal Court. The objectives of it is to move and upgrade Lewisburg site, to upgrade the 911 cell tower system, install upgrade microwave internet monitoring links, future site added to South Logan. It says Darrell on here to address coverage for the issues of South Logan, Kentucky. Finish installing and maintain backup radio system.
Thomas, did you hear we got one bid back on the from Wilson Communications on the radio maintenance?
Can I send him a picture of it?
And yeah, he'll send you a picture of it.
Oh, how much is tire climbing?
Huh?
So much a foot. So much a foot.
Yeah, and we're gonna ask to take just a
We're gonna
quick
ask
break.
take a break and see if we can go talk about it.
So that'll give you time to look over it,
Gonna
Thomas.
take a break?
Yeah.
If I
Okay.
got a question, I'll text you, Barry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we been requested to take a small break just to kind of talk about this, and we'll resume here shortly for the people that want to stay. Okay?
I think this room's occupied. So we'll get back in the back somewhere.
Ginger and Steve. I still didn't answer my damn question.
What? It's last time it was like $1,200 to climb a tire.
Around $1,000 to climb a tire. Yeah. We climb these a couple times a year.
That's what I'm getting at. It must be a day.
A couple times a year. Generally as needed.
If we're thinking about doing this other.
I'm gonna do one and another. I wish we had the three. Are we gonna trade our non-trade?
Well, I know they're taking this trade.
Or you can still keep busy, do more.
We're just gonna put it on.
God's good. Takes care of it. Take care of all of it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You been feeling okay? Yeah. It's good.
We calling?
No, I think he was just visiting different locations.
Hey, Jack. Neil. I call them at the VA. I call them at the VA. They're gonna get me one of them. Look, them chairs.
You will get this one.
I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get whatever.
You get a scooter.
Well, whatever they give me, yeah. I mean, he even asked me what kind of car I have and everything. Well, they're gonna make a deal to carry it on the back when I need it.
You can walk, though.
Huh?
You can walk. Oh, you want it for the day.
Well, but
you want it for the sales. Oh, you want it for.
Don't you tell them that.
I ain't gonna tell them nothing.
You told me to get all that.
I hope you get it.
I am going to.
But
He
you
told
don't want
me.
one of these for sales.
No, he told me. I said, well, go on gravel. He said, definitely. It run on gravel load. Yeah.
And you gonna get one.
Yeah, he told me. He proved me.
You gonna have to go to Murfreesboro.
No, they're doing it out of Bowling Green. They gonna when they get it, they're gonna bring it out from Bowling Green.
And they bring a horse too.
Yes, sir. They want us making the horse.
They're gonna put it in your truck.
Yeah. Well, in my Trailblazer. Oh, I don't have no truck out of Trailblazer. 2004. They fixed him where to hook on the back. He asked me to make sure I had the hitch, and I told him I did.
Yeah, you don't want that one.
Well, I ain't gonna use it anyway, Jack. All I'm gonna use is the scooter.
Well, yeah, but you gotta transport it.
Huh?
You gotta transport it.
Well, that ain't no big deal. All I gotta do is, if I use it, I just run it up the trail. You know what I mean?
Do what now? I'll run it up on the trailer. You want to try to keep it dry, man?
I will. Before you get to Scottsville, he said bring it up there and he'd make me a little tarp. They make tarps. There's a place before you get to Scottsville, between Bowling Green and Scottsville. They make tarpaulin stuff. Fit it.
The one I've got's got a tarp with it too.
Well, okay.
It's like it just covers it up.
Well, I don't know when I'll get a tarp, but if I don't, I'll have one made.
Yeah, get it.
Now, don't you tell everybody what I
I
got
ain't
there.
gonna tell nobody. I'm glad you're getting it.
Well, you told me to get everything.
Yeah, jump on it.
He called me out of Nashville, VA in Nashville.
What'd you do, contact Bowling Green?
Yeah, and they told me who to call. They gave me the number to call. Yeah.
Well, the only thing that I had to do, I had to go walk in front of them.
Well, you know how I walk. How'd you know what I was going to do with you?
I had to go to Hopkinsville and put on a little presentation.
Oh, no, I don't have to do that. It's already. They even called me from Bowling Green. They called me and verified what they told them out of Nashville. He said, we're calling on behalf of PA. I said, okay. Said, let me read this. Said, you got a 2004 Trailblazer, right? I said, right. Then he asked me 4 or 5 more things. And I said, what? He said, they want us making the hits carry. So I said, well, are you going to call me whenever you get it, I come get it? He said, we'll bring it out.
Yeah, they brought it to me. No, I had to go get that in Murfreesboro.
Okay. No, they're going to bring it. Now,
They came out
Jack,
to me.
listen, I never lied to that man. He said, I said, well, I'm not going to lie to you. I said, I can walk in Walmart with my wife, but I don't want to have to try to follow her all day in there. I mean, and I don't. I could if I had to, and I never lied to him. He said, well, do you use a walking cane now? I said, sometimes I don't. I got 2 canes in my dually. When I'm at a sale, I use them all the time. I got 2 in there. I use them to lean on or whatever.
You want a copy of that?
No, she said, now you what told me to.
I ain't doing nothing, hey, I hope you get it and everything's good.
Well,
They're not that expensive to go buy.
well, I think he said this is $2,800.
Yeah, you can buy one for $1,000, $1,200.
Not a new one.
Yes, you can.
Well, he said 2,800, roughly what it would run.
I tell you what, they cost $6,000 or more.
Well, anyway, though,
This thing right here is over $6,000.
well, anyway, I just, Jack, I never lied to him no way.
Well, hey, man, get it.
And I told him, and I did. I said, I went to Disney, listen, I told him I went to Disney World. Let me tell you, Jack, I went to Disney World this summer, and I really won every day $60 a day.
Yeah.
$60. I had to give them, I believe it was 100, and then when you take it back, they put the other 40 back on your credit card every day. And I ran it 3 days, and I told that guy that, and I did. You look on my credit card and I'm proof, you know. But anyway,
Well, I rented them.
you know what I mean?
Before I got these,
Okay.
every time I'd go to a meeting, I'd rent me one.
Jack, somebody told me you're building on to your house.
Do what?
Somebody said you're building on to your house.
I don't know, what did you say?
I said I heard you were fixing to add to your house.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm gonna add to it. Do a lot of stuff to it. We're working inside now.
I just want to say thanks for recognizing me. Sorry to take over there, but when y'all start talking about OSHA, I was like,
Senator coming to title for
he's meeting with business folks.
Yeah, well, of course, I remember the paper.
Right, of course.
Robert Earl, I want you to get it.
oh, he said it's going to. They didn't call me from Bowling Green.
Hell, if you don't get it, somebody else will.
Yeah, and the catch, Jack, the thing about it, I don't feel it. I'm not knocking nobody out of getting the government's good. If you need to go and give it to you. Now, Jack, if it was knocking you out for getting it, I'd feel guilty.
No, hell no, I already got mine.
But what I'm getting, what I mean.
I'm gonna get updates though.
Well, too. Yeah, let me say something.
That'd be good. I don't think so, but that'd be good. I mean, you've got the infrastructure package that's passed, so it's a possibility, I guess.
We're gonna push for it.
Yeah. So, anyway. Sorry to step in on the motion thing. It just made sense. I didn't agree. It's just a fine line. It's a fine line. I understand the thought process and the reasoning and why, but it's just a fine line. Right. No, I understand.
Yeah, that's what we do.
So you'll just want to break this.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Judge.
When you supposed to get that, huh?
Well, you're not going to get started. Get out of here. Where everybody's at.
That's a good move on my part, getting all the veterans to do the pledge, but
Yeah, it was. It was. You know, one of those meetings, I don't know if they did. I just did one. They had to stay. Yeah. Okay. Maybe not.
Robert Earl, when you supposed to get it?
He said it would be a month and a half to 2 months. told him. They had to wait for something, but when he got through talking to me, I'm talking about in Nashville, he said, can you hold a little while? I said, yeah. He said, I got to get this approved. And I helped maybe a minute. And he said, everything checks out. He said, we approved it. That's what he said. Jack, seriously, some of those sales I go to, the roads are long from here to, God, 4th of a mile long, and there'd be 10 rows, and you walk, and you can take one of them. There's 1, 2 more guys I know got them. And you don't bid on everything. I'm not interested in everything. If there's a $100,000 tractor here, I'm not interested in that. But there might be an old hay rake up here, I am. I'm just using an example. And I can ride along and look at it, I can go up there, and then when you get ready to bid, I've seen those guys, they'll just leave it, say right over there, then you walk up and look at it, and bid. And if there's nothing there, the next thing you're not interested in, you get on and go again. Yeah, there's 3 or 4 guys here, Illinois, Wisconsin, nobody's got them. And most of them walk good as I can. I see them get off of them,
You need to check your batteries. Probably might even need to change them once a year. I know I changed mine once a year.
Will they pay for that?
They come and change it.
Oh, okay.
Don't cost me nothing.
Okay.
I'll call them and say when you're gonna be in my area.
Okay.
But I wait about a year to do it.
Sure.
And then they'll come in and they'll check it out.
Right.
Put new ones in it.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you that.
That's good. That's good. But don't scratch that thing up now.
Oh, I know it. Oh, I won't.